down on the back. There's no rush or hurry to get there. Now when you find your way to your back, you might find that it feels good to draw the knees in close and to rock, or it might feel better to reach out long and rest. And take your time to find what feels best for you. Reaching, maybe it's a combination. Maybe you have one knee close and one leg long. And just take your time to settle in on your back on the mat. You might have knees bent if your low back has been tight or tired. And take your time, and as you find a comfy spot or motion for the body, start to notice your breath. And some of you might be familiar with the 4-7-8 breath. We've practiced this a couple times before, but this is one that's really helpful in resetting the nervous system. So especially if we're in a stressed mode, this helps to bring things back to a calm state where we can be calm. And if you'd like to join me in the breath, we'll start just by taking a normal deep breath in through the nose. And then we'll sigh it out through the mouth. And when you breathe in, we'll inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a pause. If it's comfy, we'll pause for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more round. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just let your breath come back to normal. Maybe taking an inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. Just noticing how things feel. Maybe noticing the body and if it's in a comfy shape or if it needs a little motion. And then if you've decided you're just going to stay on your back on the mat all day, you're welcome to stay put and rest. Or if you'd like to bring a little motion in, we'll take some motions that can be really helpful for relieving stress too. We'll bend the knees and give them a little rock, left and right. And you can make this really big. You can let the hips tip so that the knees come close to the mat. Or you might make this really small, just shifting them a little to one side and the other. And take your time, no rush or hurry with it. And just exploring what feels good for your hips. And as you might notice, this also affects the lower back. And then when you're ready, we'll take and bring the heels a little closer to the hips. They don't have to touch. Anchor the elbows near the ribs. And as you inhale, press into the feet, press into the elbows, and lift the hips for bridge pose. You can walk the shoulder blades in toward each other underneath. Can you breathe when you're here? Or maybe notice if you can add 1 more millimeter of lift through the hips without hurting or cranking into your low back. And when you exhale, let the hips float down, let the palms turn up, and see if the knees might like a little rock. Bridge pose is a great one if you've spent a lot of time seated or doing some work in front of you, like at a computer. And then we'll explore taking an ankle to the top of the opposite thigh. And for me, I'll put my left ankle on my right thigh. And then start to draw that right knee up. If it feels like too much, that right foot can stay on the mat. Or we might support that right leg. Just find a gentle rock here, side to side. This is reclined pigeon. And this one helps to draw length to some of the rotator muscles in the hip. You probably feel it in the back of the hip. You might play with lengthening the right leg, if that's the one that your ankle's resting on, and giving that foot a little motion while you're here. And then when you're ready, we'll gently bring that right foot back to the mat. Depending on how you feel in bridge, if you feel solid in bridge, you might try bridge from here, leaving the ankle stacked on the thigh and pressing up to open the hip. If that feels daunting, just bring that other foot back down for regular bridge. That's fine to play with. Or if the ankle's on the thigh, might stay here and breathe. Or we could even try pressing that heel up and giving the ankle a little motion. When you're ready, we'll bring both feet to the mat, taking one more breath in bridge. And as you exhale, float hips to the mat. See about a little shift side to side for the knees. Noticing your breath. And then let's check in with side two here. Go ahead and take the right ankle to the left thigh or the side that you didn't do before. And you might keep the foot on the mat, or we might float it, bringing the knee toward the ribs. So we can hold behind the thigh and find a gentle rock. Maybe noticing if there's a difference from one side to the other. And these muscles do often have a lot of tension. So freeing up some of that tension can be really helpful in sending our body the message that it doesn't have to stay stressed and hold on to that. And you can stay put here. You might start to lengthen the supporting leg here, maybe giving that ankle a little motion. And then no rush or hurry, but when you're ready, we can send that foot down toward the mat. And your choice for bridge. We might skip the one-legged bridge, or we might bring the elbows close and try lifting here. Trying to keep the hips even, trying not to let one sag if possible. You can stay put, or you might even press that foot up high. We can bring it down at any time. Eventually we'll all meet in bridge, taking a breath. And when you exhale, settle hips toward the mat. The knees can find a rock if it feels good. And this time you might find your opposite elbow, resting your hand on the opposite elbow. And as the knees rock one way, you might take the elbows to the opposite side. Inhale to center, exhale to the opposite side. And taking your time here. So they say that this little twist, sometimes called Dakshra's twist, they say it helps to let go of irritation and aggravation. Let's go one more each way. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. And then when you inhale to center, you have a choice to make. You can just find a comfy shape to rest. This is yogi's choice, so you can just rest. If you'd like to add challenge instead of rest, we'll take and warm the core. The rest is an option, or go ahead and draw the knees close, and we'll start a little core challenge by curling the head and shoulders up. The hands support the head without pulling on it. And just start pressing one leg long. When you exhale, switch sides. So you might stay here just curled up. That might be plenty. Or you can explore starting to take the elbow toward the opposite knee. Aiming for the outer edge of the elbow and the outer edge of the knee. And they might not touch, that's okay. And if this is not feeling good, if you'd rather rest, please do. Please come back to the mat. Otherwise, we'll go one more each way. And then we'll meet in constructive rest. Knees bent, feet on the mat, and arms reaching across for the opposite shoulder. And taking a breath when you're here. And then no rush or hurry. But we'll start to find our way toward seated. You have options to come up. You can roll your way up, or we can rock to the side and press or reach our way up. And as you find a comfy seat on the mat, you might take a moment to shift a little or wiggle around. And checking in with your breath as you find your seat. And then we'll give the back some attention here. Starting off with a little twist today. We'll start by drawing the spine nice and tall, lifting through the crown. And as you exhale, take a gentle twist toward one side. When you inhale, come back to center. We'll take that same twist again. Exhale, gentle twist to the side. Inhale, back to center. We'll take one more, and if you'd like to add on, if it feels like your back stays long with ease, rest the fingertips on the shoulders. And as you exhale, find the gentle twist, noticing if both shoulders can stay down from the ears, and both collarbones stay long. Inhale back towards center. And then we'll take a little pause before we go to side two. Just noticing how things feel in the back. And then we'll take our side bend to the same side before we twist. We'll balance this out. We'll take our side bend to that side, maybe tucking the hand behind the back first. Noticing how the side bend feels. If it feels good to reach, go right ahead. We'll exhale it up and over. Inhale it back to center. One more, maybe finding that length. Or maybe resting that top hand on the shoulder, seeing if the collarbone stays long. Inhale it back towards center. Exhale, take a pause and notice how things feel. You might notice if one side of the back feels different than the other. And then if your legs are crossed, switch the leg that's crossed in front. If they're not crossed, you can keep that same position. And when you exhale, we'll find a gentle twist to side two. Inhale back to center. Exhale, find a gentle twist. Inhale back to center. Your choice. For the last one, we might rest fingertips on the shoulders. Exhale, gentle twist. See if the collarbones stay long. Sometimes that front elbow wants to sneak up this way. Try to keep the collarbone long. And then inhale it back to center, releasing the hands down. Noticing where you feel echoes from the shape. And then let's line our side bend to the side. First, starting with the hand behind the back, using an exhale, and just kind of seeing how things feel today. We might stay with the hand behind the back if it feels good. Or inhale it tall, exhale it up and over. Once more, inhale up, exhale up and over. And you can stay put, or you might take that hand to rest on the shoulder, noticing if that collarbone is long. And then finding an inhale to draw you back up to center. Exhale, resting, noticing how things feel. And then see if the shoulders would like a little shrug or roll. Tuck the elbows by the ribs, turning the palms up. Take an inhale, open the thumbs back. Trying to keep the elbows closed. Exhale a little crisscross. Inhale to open. Exhale to crisscross. Let's go one more each way. Inhale, open. Exhale, crisscross. And then softening down. Noticing how your back is feeling, and if you'd rather stay off of the arms today, we can take cat-cow seated by rounding back and inhale, arching forward. Or if it's comfy, we'll make our way to all fours on the mat. You can always tuck a blanket under the knees to help them stay happy, or we can fold the mat in for extra cushion. And when you exhale, round the back up. Inhale, finding a gentle arch. And take your time and round for cats. Gentle arch for cow. You might check in with those collarbones. See if they stay long here. We'll go one more each way. And then settle the hips back to the heels, finding child pose. Yogi's choice, stay here and just rest. And if you'd like to lengthen the sides, you can walk the hands over toward one side and then settle your hips away from your hands. Inhale back toward center. Exhale, walk the hands over to side two, settle the hips away from the hands. Inhale back towards center. If it's comfy, walk your elbows out away from the torso and see if you can let the hands rest behind the neck. And that can draw a little more length to the triceps. So then as we inhale, we'll reach the arms out long in front of us. Lifting toward all fours. And then starting to shift our way to curl the toes in underneath. Inhale, find your cow. Exhale, lift toward down dog. You can stretch your mat back out if it was folded. You can walk your way into down dog, pedaling in. You might walk your feet a little wide. You might keep a healthy bend in the knees. And take your time feeling into the shape. And when you exhale, let's make our way toward a plank shape. So you might walk the feet back in if they were wide. Inhale your way toward a plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale toward a plank. Exhale, down dog. One more each way. And then pause in down dog, take a little pedal in. When you exhale, send the knees to the mat. Shift the weight forward like you're in a kneeling plank. And we'll see if we can keep a little curve in the low back as we lower the collarbones to the mat, knees, chest, chin. Inhale forward toward a cobra. And when you exhale, relax to the mat. Bend the knees, give the heels a little rock, side to side. Settling in here, this is reverse shavasana, down on the belly on the mat. And then it's your choice. Again, if it feels good to rest, you might just settle in here and take a break. If it feels comfy, I'd invite you to take the thumbs back by the hips. And when you find an inhale, we'll see if we can curl the head and the shoulders up from the mat for half of locust. Exhale it down. Inhale, curling up. Exhale down. Inhale, curl and lift. And this last time, if you'd like, you might explore floating the feet as well. Can you take the shoulders down the back toward the hips? Oh, and you exhale, you might bring the hands forward to rest under the head. Bend the knees, give the heels a little rock. And then your choice. You might stay put here just like this. Or we might start to find some half frog versions. Now there's a gentle half frog if you'd like a gentle practice today, where one leg is long and the other knee draws up toward the shoulder. And we can just rest there. If you'd like a half frog that brings in a little bit of stretch instead of softening, you'll bring that heel toward your hip and reach the hand back. And you might connect or you might just be reaching. Both ways are fine. If you do connect, you can try to point the elbow up toward the ceiling, opening the shoulder and the front of the hip. And we can press hand into foot, foot into hand here to get a little more awakening. And then when you're ready, don't rush or hurry with your half frog. You can gently release it. Sending toes to the back of the mat. And we'll settle for side two. Either drawing the knee toward the shoulder or the heel toward the hip. Maybe we reach back. If we connect, we might be sending the elbow up. Can you breathe when you're here? And again, we can press hand into foot, foot into hand there to help wake up a little more of those muscles. And then gently release when you're ready, making your way back to legs long, maybe walking the feet back a little. That can also open the front of the hip. And we'll find our stargazer pose next. We're resting the left ear on the hands. So you're looking at that right elbow. When you inhale, float that right elbow and the left leg. Exhale them down, turning the head. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Turning the head. Inhale up. Exhale down. Turning the head. Inhale to rise. Exhale to rest. One more each way. Turning the head. Inhale. Reaching. Exhale. Settling. One more. And then when you find the mat, you might rest your forehead on your hands. You might give your eyebrow area a little rock side to side on the hands. I'm lifting my head up so you can hear me, but you can do this on the mat if it's comfy. And then relaxing everything down. Take a little pause here to soften. And we'll make a yogi's choice. Stay in rest if it feels best for today. Rest can be the most beneficial thing for us. Or if you'd like a little bit of work, tuck the elbows in under the shoulders. And we'll try lifting toward a kneeling plank first. Lifting the hips, belly button hugs to the back. Maybe the toes curl under and we lift the knees, our dolphin plank. And we can stay put here, or we might flow from dolphin, walking the feet in. Dolphin is like down dog. To dolphin plank, walking the feet up. Exhale, walk them in, dolphin. Inhale, walk them out, dolphin plank. So your choice, you can flow, you can rest on the belly, or you might settle to child pose at any point. Vinyasa flows are okay too. Those are the classic down dog to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. And down dog. And take your time and find what feels best. And whichever one you choose, pause and notice your breath. Does it support you as you flow? Does it help you sink and settle as you rest? And just notice. And then there's no rush, no hurry. This next little piece that we're working on has a little bit of a tricky transition. So if it feels more gentle or more supportive to move into a lunge from all fours, what you'll do is you'll start from all fours and then you'll bring the knee up between the palms. So that's one way to get there. We'll be bringing our right foot forward first. Or if it's comfy, we might take a little more space here in down dog. And then float the right heel. Bend the knee, draw it to the nose, step that right foot between the palms. Now your choice, that back knee can stay up. Or find the mat for more support. Use an inhale to float and lift either a kneeling lunge or a high lunge. And taking a breath when you get there. As you exhale, let the fingertips find the top of the shoulders. They're resting, just resting there, noticing if the shoulders can move down the back, if the collarbones stay long. And then your choice. You can just hold in place, or you can explore adding a little twist, taking that left elbow forward, the right elbow back. We can come out of the twist, or we can start to tip that left elbow down toward the mat, releasing the left hand to find a twist in our lunge. We can send the right fingertips up, and again, the back knee can come down if it was lifted, or it can lift if your knee was lowered. Exhale, bring it down, frame the foot, and then we'll all take the back knee to the mat. As you exhale, shift the hips back, peel the toes up for a half of monkey, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, press foot to mat, sweep the fingertips tall. Exhale, subtle fingertips on the shoulders. And you can stay put here. Or if the twist felt good, we'll take that sequence one more time. Exhaling, left elbow forward, finding a little twist and keeping those collarbones long. This position really lets you know if one arm is trying to come up. And then we might start to tip that left elbow toward the mat. Maybe we release the hand. Maybe right fingertips reach up, and then your choice if that back knee is lowering or lifting. Exhale it down, frame the foot, slide or step back, meeting in all fours or high plank. Exhale, shift and lift. downward facing dog. Yogi's choice. Stay here and hold the shape if it feels good. You can settle to rest in child pose, or you might take those 3 vinyasa flows. Noticing your breath, noticing how things feel, and attempting to not rush or hurry anything, whether it's your breath or your movement. When we're relieving stress, trying to balance the nervous system, rushing or feeling like there's a sense of urgency, that tends to put a little more stress on things. So just give yourself permission here to take your time, and rush or hurry. And then whenever you're ready, we'll start to move towards side 2, and it's your choice. I'm gonna just spin around so it's easier for you to see me. It's your choice here. We can go in from all fours, taking that left foot forward, or we might find our down dog, hips high, loop the left heel, and then pull left knee to nose, foot between the palms. And again, you choose. That back knee can lift or it can lower. We'll inhale our way up for a kneeling or a high lunge. Exhale, rest fingertips on collarbones. We can stay put here. Or we might find that little twist. Now taking our right elbow forward. Can you breathe when you're here? And then let's see what happens. We'll keep the long collarbones and tip that right elbow down. Maybe right hand finds the mat, left arm reaches up. We can float or we can lower the back knee. Both ways work. Exhale, bring it down, frame the foot. Settle the back knee to the mat. Slide the hips back for a half monkey in between. Then foot finds the mat. Inhale your way up. Exhale, settle fingertips to the shoulders if it's comfy. Maybe we find our twist, right elbow forward with the exhale. Maybe we stay put. Or we might start to tip, sending right elbow toward the mat. Maybe right hand, maybe left reaches up. And we might float the back knee. And taking a breath. Exhale it down. Frame the foot, slide or step back. All fours are high plank, 1 breath. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Pedal in, bend one knee and the other. And then a brief yogi's choice. There's time enough for 1 flow. Time enough for a quick rest. Or time just to adjust or assess what your body needs. Maybe the wrists need a little movement, or the shoulders need a little break. And then when you're ready, we'll start to find our way back toward down dog. No rush to get there. And from your down dog, we'll step, walk, or hop our way to the top of the mat, finding Tadasana, forward bend. Uttanasana, forward bend. Exhale, bend the knees, shift the hips back. Inhale your way towards chair, Utkatasana. You can play with the arms here, they can reach up. Or you might try that fingertips on the shoulder shape again. Can you breathe when you're here, whether your chair is low or high? Use an inhale to take it all the way up. Exhale to Tadasana, mountain pose. See if anything needs a little shake or a shift. This is your first mountain pose in this class. So anchor through the four corners of the feet. Noticing your breath. And then your choice. You might just stay here in Tadasana and breathe and hold. Or if you'd like to try a little bit of balance, we'll start to explore our dancer's pose. Floating a heel toward the hip. And then for today's dancer, you have options. You might just stay here, maybe resting a hand on the wall. You might take your classic dancer shape, connecting a hand to the ankle and finding some length. Or you might take this little play on dancer, exploring one hand reaching back and then the other. And just be kind to the back, be kind to the hips. And you can keep that without extending, or if it feels good to press and reach. You might try it and see if you can keep some of that extension while you switch the hand. And then when you're ready, no rush, no hurry, let the toes find the back of the mat. We'll lift in a high lunge. Exhale, fold, frame the foot. Slide, step, or float up, forward bend. Gentle nod yes, or slow shake no. And then let's try side two. We'll lead our way up with a chair pose. Bend the knees, hips back behind. Inhale to chair. And your choice, you can do regular chair. We can rest on the shoulders if it feels good. Inhale, tall. Exhale, Tadasana. And maybe we just hold mountain. We might come back to mountain at any point. Or we can float heel to the hip. Maybe we just work with dancer here, resting a hand on the wall. Maybe we play with the classic pose, just anchoring and pressing. Maybe we stay tall and just explore one hand reaching back toward the foot, and the other. Or again, you can play with extending here, and then just see if you can keep that length while you switch the hand. Can you breathe? And then when you're ready, invite the toes to the back of the mat. One more high lunge. Exhale, hinge and fold, frame the feet. Slide or step back, all fours or high plank, one breath. Exhale, shift and lift, down dog. Yogi's choice. Time enough for 3 flows. Time to rest. If there's a pose you were craving that we haven't practiced today, take your time to go there now too. No rush or hurry. Sometimes yogi's choice is a water break. And then when you're ready, whenever you finish that last flow, we'll start to make our way back to meet in a child pose. And your choice here for the arms, you can keep them long. You can rest them back by the hips. You might clasp them behind the back. And when you find an inhale, start to press and gently lift your way up towards seated. We're getting ready to make our way down to the back. Back where we started class today. Your choice on the way down. We can be really gentle and hold one leg like a counterweight to roll down with. Or we might engage the core once more to help find boat pose. We can send our boat long and low, nice and slow to come down to our back on the mat. And when you get there, if you want to just rest, please do. Or if you get there and you know you need a little motion, feel free to take it, whether it's bending the knees and rocking, stretching the arms and reaching, no rush, no hurry, whatever feels best. If you'd like a little restorative shape, you might find constructive rest. And breathing when you're here. And constructive rest might have the knees tipped together and the feet apart, or we might just have knees and feet in line with the hips. And if reaching across the ribs doesn't feel good, we can open the arms for cactus arms too. Lots of options to find what feels best. And if you get there and it feels like heaven, stay put here. Or if you'd like to stretch the legs long for Shavasana at any point, you're welcome to do so. And in classic Shavasana, the palms might turn up. You might scoop the shoulder blades in underneath. And as you settle into these last few minutes of practice, give yourself permission to just rest. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anywhere. Just let yourself take a break. And we might think of this time as being instead of doing. So allow yourself the chance to soak in the benefits from our practice and just be without doing. Now, if you're able to take a long Shavasana today, please do. Feel free to simply stay put. Or when you're ready, you might start to give the fingers and the toes a little movement. See if the knees might like to bend or the arms might like to stretch. And take any motion that feels good here. No rush or hurry with it. Eventually coming to rest on one side or the other. And then when we find an inhale, make our way back up towards seated. Finding a comfortable seated place, maybe with a little wiggle or shrug when you arrive there. And then taking a deep breath toward the belly. Seeing about floating the fingertips up. Exhale, hands toward the heart. And thank you all for taking and making the time to practice today. A pleasure to practice with you. And namaste.